you have to dance mean.
Hi, welcome to the 13th floor. I'm Marty Duda, and today we have Troy Kingi with us. Hi, Troy.
Hello.
Glad to see you made it.
Thank you for having me.
So today is the day that your new album is released.
Yep.
And you're spending it up here at the 13th floor and playing a few songs for us. It's very exciting. So the name of the album, I'll let you run through it so I don't mess it up, because it's Shake That Skinny
Ass
all the way to
Zygertron.
Zygertron. Where exactly is Zygertron?
I didn't, at the beginning it was just a word, but wasn't until about 1 week left of recording that I realized that Zygertron was actually Earth. But the album's actually set over a 2 million year period.
Right.
And Zygertron is Earth in 2 million years.
Ah. And the fact that it's set over a 2 million year period is very impressive, considering you just put out a double album last year. And here you are with another one this year. Are you just like immensely inspired to make music at this point?
I'm driven just by a goal that I made a couple of years ago, that I really wanted to try and get an album out a year for 10 years to kind of make up for 10 years where I wasn't doing much. I was bringing up kids really.
Yeah.
So it was just to kind of fast track myself, bit of a firecracker up the arse sort of thing.
Right.
And then the other thing I wanted to do was also make a challenge for each one, or a different genre. So last year I was more towards a bluesy rock, I'd say.
Right.
This one is a
very different
sci-fi,
sounding,
psychedelic, 70s soul sort of album, and then it's going to be different next year and different the year after that. So yeah.
And I mean, the obvious kind of touchstone that seems to be obvious anyway is kind of Parliament Funkadelic. Is that what you were thinking about?
Well, yeah, just for the fact that they were really buzzy.
Yeah.
But just probably leading into the album, I was listening to Isley Brothers compilations,
Right.
Al Green albums, but also Shaggy Otis, one of my favorite albums.
Shaggy, I met his father once, Johnny Otis.
Did you?
Who was like one of the guys who's pretty much started rock and roll in the late 40s and early 50s. Amazing.
Yeah, well,
and he lived, I mean, I think he just died only like 5 years or so ago, and he was still doing like a radio show and stuff all the way up to the very end.
And then Shaggy just got, in the last few years, got a real big cult following, sort of thing. So, yeah, his Inspiration Information album that's probably was what I was striving to do anyway.
How did you get turned on to him? Because he's fairly obscure.
Well, it was my drummer actually. My drummer was, and my drummer's friggin' 6-7 years younger than me.
Right.
But he's the one who turned me on to this album from 1974, and it's just timeless. Like it's not forced. It's just in the moment. Nothing's too much. It's not too busy.
Yeah.
But yet there's just so much intricate stuff going on, as well as being from that era, which was, that sex and love and
well, I mean, I was just talking about this last night because I was featuring Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" the radio last night.
Yeah.
And we're just thinking about all the wild. I mean, it was like this golden age where like Sly and the Family Stone were doing their thing, and P-Funk were doing their thing, and Stevie Wonder, and
it is the era,
Curtis
man.
Mayfield,
the
and
early
all these
70s
guys.
Is,
it's like, wow.
Yeah, you look at my playlist. Probably I'd say 95% of it is probably mid 70s, early 70s. Most of the stuff that I listen to.
Yeah, and then of course James Brown was doing his thing as well. So it was all happening. Now you're going to play a couple of songs for us from the album.
Yeah.
And the first one is called "Grandma's Rocket Poem." What can you tell me about that before we hear it?
Well, before I actually wrote any of the songs, I wrote the names of the songs, and I don't know why that one come up. Basically, it's about a grandmother talking to her grandchildren about her time and space, which they don't believe.
Right.
There is a longer explanation where I actually wrote 20 names for songs to finish, and I only finished 12. And one of the songs was called "Cave of Scared Shitlessness," which was about a little girl who lived in Switzerland, and she was scared of the forest because there was all these monsters apparently, and her mum was like, "Oh, shut up, what are you talking about?" But there was actually this portal in a cave, and all these monsters were coming from a different dimension. She walks through this cave, and eventually she becomes that grandmother. Later on, there's all these other little twists and turns.
Cool. All right. Well, let's give it a listen, and we'll come back and talk some more.
The sun set in the west. But what about the 12 suns? We live on this small axis and also in a plethora of platforms. This black mass above us hold the keys. Up there, live beauty beyond all comprehension, but also destruction. When your time on earth come to an end, only will you see we are the creator. We are one and the same. Go for the 6, my child.
Dear child, I want to tell you about a trip I had. Way back when I met this guy and held his leg. Took me to the corner of the universe. Blew my mind when I saw my creator's face. Wanna put your headset down and turn your attention. You're nothing but an electron child, just waiting for release. Grandma's rocket poem, a cautionary tale, but it's more about a fool out there. She walked into a portal to the cosmos. One race around Saturn, jump ship when you get to the 5th dimension. A real life Zygertron, Grandma's rocket bomb. I was young once, I used to hunt in the woods. Under the precipice is where I found my glowing door. Shot through the threads of space and time. My poor mother's embrace, I'm not gonna feel no more. Hope for an ocean up there in the darkness. When you're searching through the sky, the feeling is heartless, heartless. Grandma's rocket poem, a cautionary tale, but it's more about a fool out there. She walked into a portal to the cosmos. Keep on, run race around Saturn, jump ship when you get to the 5th dimension. A real life Zygertron, Grandma's rocket bomb. Grandma's rocket bomb. Yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah. Yeah.
right, so we're back here with Troy Kingi at the 13th floor. And Troy, maybe you can tell me who's in the band with you today.
Yes, my drummer is Trey Liu. He's from Kitty Kitty as well.
Right.
And I met him when I was teaching guitar back in my early 20s. He was still at high school. And I kind of poached him from his band because he was so amazing. And yeah, he's been with me for the last 7 years. He also played on the Guitar Party at Uncle's Batch album. Yep. And then we also have Marika, who played on that album, and she plays with everybody.
She does indeed.
And then we had Domingo, who was our sexy, sultry intro man.
Yeah.
I met him while we were over in Red Room recording. He's another artist that's recorded over there.
Right.
And I needed someone to come and read this poem for the Grandma's Rocket Poem, because on paper it looked like this cheesy piece of shit. And then we got this guy, and he come in and he was like the Cuban Morgan Freeman.
Right.
So and then we also have Kitty, who I haven't probably seen in like 4 years until today.
Right.
We're both in the same kapaka group, or
right.
been in and out of the same kapaka group. So yeah, good to have her here as well.
Yeah, because I saw she was furiously writing down lyrics. So she's like right on, you know, it's just like the first time she's sung with you for this song?
She's the first time she's met all of these guys as well.
That's amazing. How does it come? How does that happen? How do you guys?
So well, just me being so far away, like 3.5 hours up in the Bay of Islands. I just don't have time to come down for rehearsals, and I just have to try and make the most of the time that I do have. So a lot of stuff that I do is, you know, like that. You just got to try and rustle something together as fast as you can, and try and make the best with what you can gather up. And man, when people got talent, it doesn't matter. You just get them in the room and just start performing.
Now, speaking of talent, people also know your talents as an actor as well. So is that kind of like a parallel thing that's going on at the same time? Do you plan on doing any more of that, or?
I've got a couple of things coming out in the near future. Yeah, that was just a right place at the right time sort of thing, and then I've just been throwing a few jobs here over the years, and it seems like people like seeing me on the screen, so I keep getting jobs.
Yeah, because you weren't on for very long, but everybody remembers it, you know?
Oh yeah, you're talking about Hunt for the Water people?
Yeah.
Well, just like that, I didn't really care how long I was on. It was a Taika Waititi film, and I'm a big Taika Waititi fan. Yeah. So just the fact that I was on that film, and then it ended up being the highest grossing New Zealand film ever, so...
Not bad.
It's a good claim to fame.
Yeah.
But
you can raise your rate.
Yeah. It's just good fun, I suppose, getting to get outside yourself and you know, put on someone else's face, I suppose, and just have a little bit of fun being a bit of a clown. But
and when you're singing, are you putting on someone else's face, or is that more you?
That's all me. Yeah. That's all me. Like, if I never got another acting job, then that's fine. Right. As long as I got a guitar, I'll be happy.
Alrighty, we got one more song. This is As Technology, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, what can you tell me about that before we hear it?
Okay. Well, there's another song on the album called Gold Shoes. And basically, when I was writing this album back at the start of the year, that's all I was thinking about was space and like Aztecs and all this out of it stuff. And I just had a dream, honestly had a dream about a little kid with golden feet. Mm-hmm. And then that was like the catalyst for writing the whole album. And basically on As Technology is this gold feet's father in As Technology. And he's the only dude who can read the hieroglyphics in these old ancient ruins. And he reads somewhere that a person's going to be born with golden feet and they're going to be the new Messiah and people are going to want to kill him. But he also reads on another hieroglyphic on this other wall over here that there's the aliens built these ruins and there's like these alien pods underneath the palace. So he ends up grabbing one and sending his 5-year-old son up to the moon. So that's what As Technology is about.
Because there is like some theories about the Aztec culture, the ancient culture, and the fact,
Mayans.
Yeah, there's all sorts of, and space travel and these unexplained kind of
just their technology for the period that they were, like just getting stuff lined up and how, or even the Egyptians, how the pyramids are said to like face, you know, perfect north and all of that sort of stuff. Like, how could you do that when you're building these things with however many tons per block, you know, to get it precise as? So they had some sort of freaky Martian-y stuff happening there.
Yeah, definitely something's going on. So are you taking the thing on tour at all? Or?
Well, we're not till end of January, February.
Right.
Just coming into the summer, and I've got a lot of kids, so I just got to spend some time with my kids while they're on holiday.
Right. And then people can catch you. All right, we'll wrap up with As Technology. Thank you very much for coming and bringing your crew. It sounded fantastic.
Thank you very much for having us.
Welcome to Zygertron.
We drown in the cosmic sea. We don't come from a long line of cheese. We wrestled with things, thought on to get out from beneath. It's too late. The stationary up in the air. I wish you could return like this, but this planet's been abandoned for years. Woo, yeah, baby, it's just technology, worshiping the song. These rooms are more than directions. I hope to beat the game about the moon reflection. I gotta look back to move on, yeah. Therefore, sight is your reward. You're missing a piece. It's back to the drawing board. Don't you see the stars coming down? Yeah. On this replacing sound, there's nowhere to run from what truth down. Yeah, baby, this is technology, worshiping the song. These rooms are more than directions. I try to beat the game. Hey son, you're a tidal moon, revision jet balloon, UFO gonna find some peace. Indigenous message set for release. It's just technology, worshiping the song.